A couple of you guys wanted to see the video, so I went out and bought her an eye patch, and you can see she's like super interested in it because we've been playing with it. And I'm going to show you like what I did to acclimate her, and it would be like a similar process if you were going to acclimate your dog to a vacuum cleaner or something else that they, might be afraid of, or something that seemed foreign to them. This would be a good way to acclimate them. You can use food. My friends that have puppies, one of them was afraid of a garbage bag. We used counter conditioning, the same technique to acclimate Lilith, their cattle dog, to the sound of a trash bag being spread open. So, for her. So what you can do is you can, and this is the same for like hats or like doggles, anything like that. You can use that for your dog. So this goes on a certain way. So I've just been telling her eye patch, and then tucking it under her ears, like so. And then once it's on her head, without her trying to get it off, yes, I mark yes, and then I reward her for not trying to pull it off her head. Yes. Good. Yes. And I'm building more and more duration. I expect her to sustain keeping that in place without trying to like bat it off with her paw. Yes. And when she starts getting comfortable with that, stand, sit, good girl. Yes. Then I'm going to start asking her for more obedience behaviors. When I first started doing this with her, when she would down or go from down to sit or sit to down, she would try and bat it off. So we've been working a little bit on that. Come here, kid. Very nice. Yes. Down. See that right there? She batted it off to move it. So I'm going to put it back in place. I'm not going to reward her for that. Sit. Yes. Good. So, good girl. Yes. So it's just about getting the reps in and getting them comfortable with wearing it. Yes. Yes. And making this a positive association. Yes. You don't have to do long sessions with this. And like I said, you could do this with, if you're doing like muzzle conditioning, it'd be the same process too. Yes. And then when you take the eye patch or muzzle off, no more food rewards. So what you're doing is you're building anticipation. You're getting the dog's desire and motivated to want to put this on because there's a lot of good things that are associated with wearing this, right? More? So I'm going to see if she's going to activate me, if she like nose bumps or tries to get me to put it back on her head. Hi. Good job. That was so nice. You did a wonderful job. So we'll see if she like tries to put her head in there. Oh, what's that? You want to wear it? Oh. So that right there, you saw that she put her mouth on it. She's asking, put it back on so I can earn more rewards. Good. Watch me. Yes. Okay, good. And so slowly but surely, we build duration into this, and we make this a positive association, so this way that they get accustomed to wearing this, and they don't have an aversion towards it. Make sense? Yes. Good. Good job. Good girl. Now the same thing would hold true. Good girl. Let me take it off of you. I had mentioned earlier in my other post that you could use this same technique for like a vacuum cleaner or like doing a nail trim, and that is true. So I had actually made a video sometime back doing this with Winks and Arrows just to show two different dogs doing this process here. And so she's checking it out. She's always been a little bit funny about this, and your dog may not always like having their nails trimmed, but we don't want them to be afraid of it, right? So you would do in small, successive approximations. Come closer, sit. And I'm not going to actually file her nails yet. I'm just going to bring it to her paw. Yes. You see when she didn't pull away? I mark yes, and I'm going to reward with food. So I'm just acclimating her with the sound. I'm going to put it on her paw. It's not actually doing anything. It's not turned on. I'm just getting her accustomed to, yes, not pulling away and seeing that it's not a big deal that this thing is touching her. So just doing it with no sound, yes, would be like the first step. Then it would be turn the sound on and do that. Yes, good job. Then turn the sound off. And so what we're looking for is for her not to pull away and to be afraid of it. And this takes quite a few repetitions in the beginning. So you have to be able to read what your dog is feeling in that moment to get them accustomed to where exactly they're at. Like what level are they at in terms of like their willingness to participate. And if they start pulling back, you want to be able to adjust for that. So if I had this on and she tries to pull her paw away, good. Yes, good job. And I want to just make that the norm, right? So it's not a big deal. And each time we do this, she gets a little bit smoother. Oh. Yes, good girl. Yes, good job. And so that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the consistency of her being able to withstand, like, okay, nothing bad's happening here. I'm not going to pull my paw away. Like, there's a good thing that comes at the end of this for me accepting this situation for what it is. It actually takes 64 repetitions for a neural pathway to get grooved out into the brain. So, like, when you're learning a new skill set, you can't have that. That's mine. So when you're learning a new skill set, whether that's like playing basketball or learning to dance, or your dog is learning to not pull away and get their nails trimmed, it takes at least 64 repetitions for the body to begin to develop the muscle memory for that particular exercise. And when you're talking about dealing with fear, it's going to take, depends on the dog and their temperament and their past history and just how stable the mindset is and your skill set and ability to repattern a new positive emotional response to said exercise, right? So you see she's not running away, she's still participating, even though she's not like crazy about this exercise, she's still willing to participate in it because it's paying off for her in some way. So I'm going to do it again. So I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to pick up her paw. Yes, and I'm rewarding her for looking up at me instead of messing with this item right here. And so after so many repetitions, and like I said, you should at least try and get 64 in. Good girl. Good. Yes! Before you actually begin to up the ante to the next thing. You want to make this so it's so obvious. It's like, okay, what's the next thing? Like so boring. Like this is the unsexy part of dog training, right? It's the repetition. So that when you move to the next step, you're not rushing along too fast and your dog is ready for it, right? So once she got acclimated to this whole process here where she's not pulling away, she's looking at me, good girl. Oh, that's so good, kid. Good job. Yes. Right? Then the next step would be that I would move to actually trying to file a nail, right? So let me see. I'll turn it on. And ignore that. Yes, good girl, right? So I'll reward her for that. Good job. Okay, and so the process is the same, like I mentioned earlier. So whether it's you are trying to acclimate your dog to getting their nails trimmed or dealing with the vacuum cleaner, or in this case, I wanted to teach Wings how to wear an eye patch. Stand, sit. Good. Eye patch. Good girl. Mm-hmm. The process is the same. You would do it through small successive approximations. Hey, up here. Good. Good girl. Until they just get accustomed to wearing it, and then you can build duration into the behavior. So, if you guys have questions, you can shoot me a message, or if you need help with something, let me know. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.